Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the JKWD podcast. Hoping you're having a great day and that cake is involved somehow. Kelvin, how you doing?
Good old cake. Man, now you made me want a piece of cake. Hey, I'm doing great. Doing great. Life is good. Feeling good. Feeling healthy. Feeling happy. It doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Nope, I don't think it does.
That's right.
We are brought to you today by Vitamin K Daily. Get your daily dose of positive from the Prince of Positive himself, Kelvin P. Ringgold Sr., the guy on the other microphone.
That's me.
Wake up every day, Monday through Friday, to note about how great your day is going to be or how you can make it better. If you go to vitaminkdaily.com, you can get yourself 4 weeks free. That's vitaminkdaily.com. 4 weeks free, vitaminkdaily.com. Let's do the show. Welcome to the Josh and Kelvin World Domination Podcast, where we talk about better humanhood and teach you how to dominate your world. You ready? Here we go. So, Kelvin, you just had a birthday. I got a birthday coming up shortly.
Yeah.
We're getting older.
Rumor has it. I think I'm getting older further along than you.
Yeah. Well,
and somehow I don't think you can catch up.
I think that's just a matter of you started first.
I did. Or I was planted first. Something, whatever. However that worked. Yeah.
Yeah. You started first, and neither of us, chose our starting point.
There you go.
It's like, oh crap! What am I doing here?
Somebody else's idea.
It was so warm and nice where I was.
And now this. Yeah. I saw a cartoon once that said something about that your navel was just evidence of a knife fight you lost with a guy in a mask. That was a perspective I hadn't expected.
Yeah, well, there you go.
There you go.
So to put things in a little bit of perspective, you are at a point where the government once expected you to be just about dead, and
if not dead already, yeah.
Right, and I am at an age that I get it's appropriate for a midlife crisis now, but it wasn't 20 years ago, I don't think. But the point is that age doesn't mean anything, really. It's a representative of how many laps around the sun you've taken.
Yes.
This is assuming that you've done all those laps on Earth.
On Earth?
Yes. Well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean as opposed to like getting in a ship and just moving?
Well, right, exactly, or on a different planet, because if you had done them on Mercury, you'd have gone around the sun more times. If you had done, some of them on Jupiter, you've gone around the sun fewer times.
Yeah. So this is very Earth specific.
Yes, this is very Earth specific, which I think is fine for when we're recording this.
For our conversation, yeah.
Might not be in like 15, 20 years. Who knows?
For real.
We might have started caffeinating Mars by then.
Could be that. Could be that. But yeah, age is different than what it was when I was young. Because people my age when I was young, they were old.
Yeah.
And I'm just past puberty now, is what I'm thinking. At the ripe age of 68.
68. It's been that long, huh?
It's been that long.
Man, I remember when you were in your mid-50s. Wow.
Really? Have we known each other that long? No.
Actually, I've probably known you since you're in your early 50s, I guess.
Ah, yeah.
But
yes, because I remember
yeah,
you were at my 55th birthday. Man, I've known you a long time.
2004. So
wow.
yeah, you would have turned
Yeah.
51 that year.
That was 50. It was 50. Yeah, 51 in 2004. Wow, man, I need to go back to school and learn how to count. Holy smoke, that was it. Good days back then, wasn't it?
Some of them.
Yeah, and I feel roughly equivalent to how I felt then.
But time was that we could expect to be dead, if not by 68. Not too long after.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the age of the ages outlined for mandatory retirement programs and Social Security distribution, we weren't expecting to have to pay out Social Security for 25, 30 years to an individual. We weren't. I think even when I was growing up, life expectancy was 73, 74 or something in the U.S. There were no 80-year-olds, and there definitely weren't a lot of them.
Yeah, you were pretty much a god if you lived in that, or a vegetable one.
Right, and now it's not unusual to see like 80-year-old yoga instructors, and every recreational marathon, there's at least one 75-year-old gets interviewed on the news.
Oh, absolutely.
And usually finishes in the top half of the field anyway.
Yeah, in my Toastmasters club, we got a guy who's 90 and his wife is 88, I think. And another friend of mine in the same club, two other friends of mine in the same club just turned 80. So, and they're just, one of them does 100 push-ups a day, or 100 push-ups a day, and works out at the gym every morning. And I'm like, I'm not even doing that. So old age ain't what it used to be.
Yeah, and there are some things that are happening later in life now. I'm, as of this recording, I'm going to turn 45 soon, and I got friends who became grandfathers at my age, and I have a 2-year-old.
Yes. Actually, mine. Let me see what I do.
Well, you had your first kid at 19. Right?
Huh?
You had your first kid at 19, right?
Yes.
So
at 19, yeah, and she's 48 now.
And
weird.
If she had her kid before 25, you were younger than me when you had your first grandkid.
Yeah, because my baby grandson is 19. My older grandson's 26. That's not counting the new baby who just turned a year old last month. So yeah, we run the gamut on grandkids. Yeah. So I suck at math.
So I guess you were about my age now when you first became a grandfather.
Yeah.
And you got one new grandbaby, and one of the things we're seeing that's so exciting is that you got a 1-year-old grandbaby at 68 years old, and you're not in the gym every day, and you're not hitting 12,000 steps a day. You're not focusing on that, and you're just living your life, and you can chase that grandbaby around the house for a few hours, and like you're healthy enough to do that. And we understand kind of what you have to do to just be an average person and be healthy enough at an age that we thought you were going to be dead. When you were growing up, you didn't know any 70-year-olds, or you knew one.
I don't think so. Oh, maybe Miss Ola. She was old as dirt, but old as dirt was different back then. I'm not even sure
Yeah,
how old
right.
she was way back then. Yeah. So, yeah.
And
So
if you knew
I
a
have to admit,
and if you knew a 70-year-old, that 70-year-old wasn't doing stairs
not generally
and
speaking.
chasing around a
Nope.
grandkid and probably not driving anymore. Giving up their license by then or driving 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Heck, the last time you were down, well, not the last time you were down here, the time before that, you got pulled over for speeding. You weren't driving like a grandpa.
No, I wasn't. Oh God, I forgot about that.
I did too until I was just talking about old people driving slow.
It was in Florida, no less. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, so I'm really this whole age thing. I don't know where I thought I was going to be at 68, what I was going to be doing, but it's nothing like the old age I thought I might be enduring, and I'm living. I'm loving it. As a matter of fact, a book that I've read or in the process of reading by a guy named Sullivan. The title of his book is "My Plan to Live to Be 156," and I like it because not for the life thing, but he's making the point of that age. And it's like, okay, so if you're expecting to die at 68, what are you going to be doing at 67? You're going to probably be sitting around waiting to go in. But if you're expecting to live until you're 156, you're going to be keeping up. You're going to be staying healthy. You're going to be eating right. You're going to be doing all this kind of thing so that you can be able to function at that age. And I'd be the last one to say that I've been what one would call have an athletic lifestyle, but I've got no limitations at this point.
At least
I'm not even on any meds at this point, which is really rare still. So I adopted 156. I like that. So I need to stay healthy. And since I got a brand new grandbaby now, who's just, she's one, I had to tell the rest of my family, y'all got to stay healthy too.
Yeah.
I can't be going to all these graduations and stuff by myself. I need company.
Well, and there are things that you want to be able to do, and that you're probably now at an age when you need to start thinking about it. You were telling me you're going to go in for a stress test, and get that scheduled, and you're going to get your bone density checked and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's great that we can measure that, and we can measure that when you're feeling pretty good. We don't have to wait until you're like, hey doc, I can't move. Now we got to measure everything and see how to keep you alive for the next 30 years. You're going in now when you still feel pretty good, you're still pretty active, and you can still enjoy that grandbaby. And we can say, hey, if you want to be at that graduation and you don't want to be, pushing around a walker, if you want to be at that wedding and actually get up and dance instead of being pushed around in a wheelchair with your, sucking on, blended foods because you can't chew yourself a piece of bacon.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, like that's not how you want to live. We have the technology to plan for that, and we can understand what you need to do to be able to
do that.
I mean that's that new grandbaby, that's their first kid. You might have another couple of grandbabies, and maybe when you're 75, you still want to be able to squat down and pick up a grandkid, who's 2 or 3. You gotta be able to lift 30 pounds at that age.
I better practice a little heavier right now.
Yeah, but
I can.
Right, exactly. Like you're not beyond that, and then you're at a time when you can say, hey doc, here's where, let's measure where I'm at so that I can figure out how I can maintain this or get stronger over the next few years, rather than watch myself go downhill and become a vegetable over the next decade or two. And
shoot, not only that, I can start new businesses.
Yeah, and
I can create new relationships.
Same for me. Like, at 45, Yeah, I'm fighting a different battle than you, but this is an age when a lot of people, especially 50 years ago, even, this is the age when a lot of us started to get old. Not too far off from 50, and by 50 you were an elder statesman in your business, and whatever the gender neutral term is now. Don't cancel me for that shit.
Hey, who knows? I just call it still alive. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're an older worker.
Mm-hmm.
You probably had a corner office and 2 secretaries before you were allowed to be bothered, and and you're getting ready to retire at the at the top of your company in not too long, and then, like I said, you get your Social Security and you die 2 years later. Get your gold watch and just have it wheeled back. Not
doing any of that.
Years later to give to the next one out.
So yeah. So I know people who are talking about, because not everybody sees that. Not everybody sees that number that 50 is not as high as it used to be. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the.
It's not as close to dead as
it's not the season, that it used to be. Because I know people who are starting businesses at 80, finishing college degrees at 80 and stuff.
And it also reminds us to keep going when I've got friends who are talking about retiring at 55.
Mm-hmm.
In the old days, their financial planner would tell them they probably need to be able to plan for about 10, 12 years and get some long-term care insurance. And, just in case after that 10, 12 years, they were in a nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
And then now they know they have to be ready to live 30 to 40 years on whatever they've got.
Yes, they do.
For retirement. And so, they can go into it and say, okay, well, we know this is where we need to save, and this is what we need to do, and this is what our budget's going to be over the next few decades. And we won't have to, if we do this, we can plan accurately so that we're not at 75, looking to be a greeter at Walmart because we ran out of money.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck. Yeah, all those numbers are changing, and strangely enough, if you do come up with an illness, the money it takes to live with that literally is phenomenal. So there's a lot of changes in life that we have to think about with the stuff we're doing right now. So I'm very fortunate in my circumstance. I'm retired military, so I've got some pension there, and I've got some other stuff that's going on. Plus, I've still got the vitality. You know that word, vitality, vitality, to be able to run a side business
and most of the brain power to come up with.
And most of the brain power. Yeah, we might have to take a little dip there, but it's all this coffee I'm drinking is what I'm thinking.
That's right. That's right. You got a little. You got a little too vital there for a minute.
Yeah. So that's all right. So, hey,
well,
more than any other time, and so far,
yeah,
so far.
Yeah, it's going to be even less important going down the line, I think. Yeah,
Are they still doing that cryogenic suspension thing for waking up later and partying, or what?
I don't know, but I just watched Idiocracy for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with this movie?
No.
The Army does an experiment where they want to suspend life for a year. They want to put two people in. They pick a healthy man and a healthy woman. The idea is they put them in a like a coffin-like unit.
Mm-hmm.
Give them an IV that's going to give them their nutrients for the year and whatever, and keep feeding them. But then the guy who is in charge of the program gets sent to jail for something, and they forget about the program and they bulldoze the building.
Ooh.
And the two people wake up 500 years later, and everybody's an imbecile. Yeah, they've all watched too much TV and eaten too much fast food, and
that sounds like I might have to hunt that down.
well, right now it's on YouTube for free.
Oh,
that's where I saw it. So free with advertising.
Mm-hmm.
So it's available to you.
Shoot,
just on YouTube.
Of course, too many things that come up in movies end up reality, right?
Well, people were joking during the Trump administration that that Idiocracy was not a documentary, and I don't think that they actually watched Idiocracy.
We shall see.
They just liked the name and they knew that people got dumb and combative.
A lot of that going around.
But go ahead and watch it. Yeah. Just keeping in mind the conversation we just had about overthinking the word vitality.
There you go. I will do that.
Yeah. All right. I think we did it.
Here.
So thank you all for being here. Rate, review, share this podcast if it hit you well. VitaminKDaily.com. Get yourself 4 weeks free. JKWDpodcast.com for show notes for this and all our other episodes. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Show notes and more at jkwdpodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends, and we will see you next week. Bye. A Better Humanhood production.